Hello there. Happy Easter. And tonight we're going to use Meissner Tremonia's Lavender Deluxe. This is a slamming lavender soap. I love it. It's my favorite of the lavender soaps that I have tried. And I'm just going to put a little bit of warm water on that, and we're going to use my Ever-Ready 100 with a 24 millimeter high mountain white knot restored by Anthony McKenzie Jr. quite a while back. And I'm just going to get the knot good and wet. It's a badger. It doesn't really need to soak all that much. So, like I said, happy Easter. Hopefully this will air Easter of sometime Easter. We will be holding Easter services from our cars. And I look forward to it. We're going to face lather this. I'm getting to where if it's winter time, I like a bowl, and if it's warm, I prefer to face lather, and I've got a couple of days growth. But that could change at any moment. As far as what I prefer, how I prefer to lather, because most people who've been around this channel a while understand that for me, it's all about variety. I'm not like one of these guys that, I found the perfect razor. There's no such thing. Or the perfect soap. There's no such thing. I found the perfect aftershave. There's no such thing. Or the perfect blade, or the perfect... And now all I'm going to do is use the same soap and the same aftershave, the same razor, the same blade. Enjoy. If you call that enjoyment. To me, I call that boring. I much prefer a lot of variety. Even when it comes to straight razors, just different grinds, different widths, different edges. Speaking of, let me dry my hands. Tonight we're going to shave with a gold dollar. This is the King KW65 Edge. If you watch my video, the KW65 is a 1K, 6K combo. I honed this razor, set the bevel on the 1K, moved to the 6K, until I achieved a polished edge, and then went to chromium oxide paste, 15 passes. Why 15 instead of 7 or 10? Because I'm actually doing more finishing with the paste than I am that 6K stone. It's similar to what a lot of guys did and still do. But when the Norton 4.8 first came out, and people were just starting to see a resurge in straight razor shaving and honing. Guys were trying to learn how to hone And that stone was, their starting point. Most of them went from that 8K to chromium oxide paste or some other type of paste to smooth that edge out a bit. I even know that when the 12K first came around, the Nano 12K, a lot of people still went to chromium oxide paste for 5 or 6 passes after the 12K to kind of push the smoothness of that edge up, and that works really well. But that's what we're trying. This is an edge. If you didn't have a lot of money, the KW65 is like $35, and if you're ordering it on Amazon Prime, after all this gets over with, it's probably free shipping. So, first thing I'm going to do is straighten out my sideburns. That's a lovely edge. It's I hate to say it because it's a synthetic stone, so I'm not saying that that's what it feels like, but it reminds me of a good cotty edge. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. It's cutting clean. For 15 passes on chromium oxide, it's wonderfully face friendly. Lovely. There ain't a thing wrong with that edge. I don't know that you can hear that. I hope you can't. But my stomach is rolling. That's lovely. Very nice edge. So, what I would say, if you don't have a lot of money and you want to hone straights, the KW65, a good strop, some chromium oxide paste, and either the back side of the cloth of the good strop, or even better, go to Goodwill and get one of those cotton, like Boy Scout belts or whatever, and paste one side of it with the chromium oxide. Hook the buckle onto the hook that you hook your strap, your ring on your strap on, and go to town. That's what I would do. I would keep it separate from my good strap. But anyway, take that stone. Now, This is assuming, understanding that you're going to get the results you put into that stone. You're going to get the results commensurate with your abilities. But if you take that stone and make absolutely positively sure your bevel is set on that stone, and then you take a loop and glass that edge and go to the 6K and stay on that 6K until the scratch pattern from the 1K side of that stone is gone, completely gone, and you have a nice, beautifully shiny bevel. Okay? And move to a chromium oxide paste strop for 10 or 15 passes, and then strop as per normal after honing, which for me is 60 passes on cloth and 120 passes on leather. If you do that right, you see I'm using every portion of this blade from here to here to the center, everything. That's the way I shave. I use the heel just as well as the toe and the middle. But a lot of guys don't even really use the heel much. There's almost a 3-inch blade, and some of them it is. There, you use the part that works best. So, you know, a razor has to be, the bevel has to be fully set along the whole length of that blade. It has to be shave ready all the way if I'm going to use it, or I'll find out real quick that it's not. And I've shaved the guy's edges that were partly shave ready and partly not. And it's easy for me to tell now. Having said that, that was people that were beginners or hadn't been doing it very long. And I bet you when I first started honing well, I sent some razors out as gifts and stuff like that to other honers. I didn't tell them what I wanted. I just sent them and see if they say anything back. And most of them didn't. A couple of them did. But I'm sure in the beginning that I sent a few of them to a few people, and the edges weren't all that great either. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm all that and everybody else. Okay, that's not it. But I'm just saying, a bevel, setting a bevel, that's the most important part of honing a razor. I have preached this and preached this and preached this, and I will continue to preach it for as long as I am teaching straight razor honing, you must get a complete bevel set on your razor, or you're not working to your advantage. It's to your disadvantage if you do. And you'll wonder why your edges are almost. It's that bevel set. Trust me, it's the bevel set, it's the bevel set, it's the bevel set, it's the bevel set, it's the bevel set. Okay? And then after the bevel set, it's polish, 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 the whole flipping thing. Okay? If you take that stone I was talking about, I'm going to finish with, that was a great shave. Guerlain's Vetiver. If you take that King 1K, 6K, KW65, lovely. I love that. And I'm not really a Vetiver fan, but I love that aftershave. But if you take that stone and you do what I told you on it, there's no reason you can't get fantastic shaves off of that stone. And you'd spend $50 max, $35 for the stone, and probably free shipping on Prime, Amazon. And I would suggest go to Maggard's, and I think they're a little thing of chromium oxide paste that they've got is like $8 or something like that. I bought one many years ago, and I got plenty left. I got enough. There's enough there. It don't look like much, but trust me, there's enough there for many, many years. And that and a good strop, all you need. Now, you might want more, and I definitely like more. But if you're on a budget and you want to learn how to hone, and that stone will humble you too, because all you got's a 1K and a 6K and then a pasted strop. So you better get your ducks in a row and get it right all the way through. When you don't, you'll know it and you'll have to go back and start over. But that's part of learning. You learn to hone straight razors by what? Honing straight razors. There once was somebody really famous, I think it was Dean Martin, but said a professional, this is not a direct quote, but is someone who has enough experience to know what to do to make the right choices. And the way that you get the experience to make the right choices is when you make the wrong choices. That's a fat paraphrase of it, but pretty much it. If you want to learn, you got to hone. You got to make mistakes, and then you got to go back. Instead of settling and saying, oh, that's okay, you got to go back and say, no, I need to do better. All right, that's enough of that. Happy Easter. Bless you. I'll talk to you later.